Hello, my name is Caitlin Crane, and I am honored to share my poster, Unveiling the Digital Maze, a comprehensive scoping review on problematic media use in psychopathology in children and adolescents. Recent research indicates that 95% of adolescents own a smartphone and 38% are using them almost constantly. Problematic media use, or PMU, is defined as the excessive use of digital media that leads to significant impairment in a major domain of a child's life. Studies that examine the question of directionality in the relationship between PMU and psychopathology, such as depression, anxiety, and behavioral problems, continue to increase. Identifying this relationship and enhancing the understanding of the directionality is critical for the development of interventions to reduce PMU and promote mental health in children and adolescents. This scoping review was guided by Arksey and O'Malley's scoping review framework, applying 5 steps. 1. Identifying the research question. 2. Identifying relevant studies. 3. Selecting studies. 4. Charting the data. And 5. Collating, summarizing, and reporting findings. Inclusion criteria for this review included school-age children ages 6 to 11 and adolescents ages 12 to 18 with no restriction on gender. It included only quantitative, longitudinal studies that were conducted in the outpatient, community, or school settings. 6 databases were searched, as well as conference abstracts for 3 conferences between 2020 and 2023, as well as a hand search of reference lists of included studies. Using Distiller SR, 2 reviewers independently screened titles and abstracts and subsequent full text. 2 reviewer approval was required for inclusion, and disagreements were resolved by discussion. Overall, 64 studies were included in this review. Regarding psychopathology, most studies examined depression or depression and anxiety, with 40 studies evaluating 1 mental health condition and 24 evaluating 2 or more. Regarding types of PMU, internet addiction was the most commonly studied type. Regarding overall directionality, 24 studies found that psychopathology predicted PMU, 18 studies found that PMU predicted psychopathology, 16 found a bidirectional relationship, and 6 found no statistically significant relationship. Regarding directionality in children, 2 studies found that PMU influenced psychopathology, 1 study found that psychopathology influenced PMU, and 1 study found that there was a bidirectional relationship between the 2 constructs. In adolescents, 39.1% of studies identified mental health as influencing PMU, 26.1% of studies found the latter, and 26.1% found a bidirectional relationship, and almost 9% found a non-statistically significant result. The review of these 64 studies found that the directionality is complex and appears to differ across age groups, which highlights distinct developmental patterns in children and adolescents, and adolescents. 24 studies finding that psychopathology influenced PMU suggests that those with anxiety, depression, and ADHD are more prone to developing PMU. The 18 studies that found that PMU was influencing psychopathology indicates that PMU can exacerbate psychological symptoms. 16 studies found that bidirectional relationship, underscoring the cyclical dynamic where each construct reinforces each other, and 6 found non-statistically significant results, suggesting the potential influence of other unmeasured factors. The lack of a clear winner underscores the need for future research to better understand the temporality of the relationship between PMU and psychopathology to help better inform treatment interventions. Longitudinal research especially is needed to help better understand this relationship. Future studies should also examine the relationship between other psychiatric diagnoses in PMU, as well as lesser studied populations and settings. Thank you so much for your attention.